All right, so let's move on to control the process. This thing I'm about to tell you is one of the biggest sleeper wins I can possibly give you. You're gonna think it's totally stupid, but I promise you, this is the best thing that you can do to improve. It's about agendas. This is a typical agenda that I see all the time when people are selling to me. They send me an agenda for a meeting. They say, let's do introductions. I'll give you a company overview, a demo, and then we'll talk about next steps. I don't even know why they send it. It's totally useless. A next gen agenda, you can actually use it as a starting point in the discovery process. You can take control of the conversation early. You can direct the flow of how these engagements are going to go. And you can set expectations with the customer around their participation. So you're not into these unilateral, just going in and spewing information about your company, but actually having a conversation with them. And it allows you to differentiate because it shows your level of professionalism is way above everybody else. So how does it look? Each one of these things is important. If you name the attendees on the agenda, that gives the customer a chance to validate. Either, oh, you're missing this important person that's attending, or you put 5 people on here, but it's actually just me. Helps really understand the context. Second thing is the context. How did we get here? Our understanding of the situation so far is X, or we've had conversations with these 5 people and this is what we've learned. Really important for the newbies that are coming into the session. And meeting goals. So specifically define, what does the customer want to get out of the meeting? Not you. What are they hoping to accomplish? And it could be multiple goals, 5 goals. And the topics. We want the customer to talk. So give them agenda topics, right? So tell us about the project background. How did you get to this point? Why are we having this conversation? What are the things that are important in this project? What have you looked at also? What other solutions have you looked at or options for solving this problem? So the goal is get the customer talking. I will explicitly send them questions that I'm going to ask them in the session so they know up front and they're prepared, and then give them a chance to tell us what they want. I have seen this turn into, I've had sales reps put this in a Google Doc and customers redline it with things like, do not say that word or we're going down a 20-minute rabbit hole. So it's super powerful. Use it all the time. And I swear it will help you in ways that you can't even imagine. I'm a huge proponent of this, and there's actually a book, it's out of print, called Stop Selling and Do Something Valuable. You can still get it on Amazon. Read chapters 1 to 8 and 10 and 14. I promise you, you'll be reading it thinking this is the goofiest book I've ever read, but the concept is strong.
Hey, David, quick question about that structure for the approach for the agenda. Do you use that for the initial call or discovery only, or do you take that framework for all subsequent meetings?
Every time I have a chance to use an agenda, I will. And in the book, the author says, even for social situations. And when I first did it, I was going out for lunch with a client and I had a few things that we needed to talk about. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this out. So I sent the agenda in advance. We sit down, we're having lunch, we're chatting, it's social. We get halfway through the lunch and the guy reaches into his pocket and pulls out this crinkly piece of paper and smooths it out on the table and says, so you had some things you wanted to talk about. And I was, wow, it worked. So anytime, the power in this thing is it gives you the opportunity to define the rules of engagement for that next meeting, what your expectations are of them, what you're prepared to do. And if they disconnect, if they're not connected, then you can get in front of that before you walk into the meeting. I love it for first meetings because I don't want to go in and have them just sit back in their chair and say, okay, so tell us what you guys do. And then, yeah, I just want to see the demo. Totally useless. But if we go in with the expectation that, no, this is a different product category and there are reasons why we're having this conversation, it's way more powerful.
Awesome.
Okay, improving discovery, better discovery. So this is something that happens often. I see it all the time. A client shows up and says, hey, we're looking for a solution that does X, Y, Z. And your reaction is to say, awesome, our solution does that. Let me show you. Stop doing that, please, because it's a trap, right? You're going to get stuck in a feature conversation and it might not even be about the right problem. So how do we do it better? First thing is pause. You want to say, yep, we can do that. Can I ask you a question? Okay, because there's some things you need to understand. Why are they looking? How does it connect to their broader goals? What problems are they hoping to resolve? What's their motivation? Are you just column fodder in an RFP? Have they already decided who they want? They're just comparison shopping? How did they get to this point in the process? And they may have misdiagnosed the root causes. That's the important part, because you may uncover something that's more important. And you also may have a vision that gives them better options. So you owe it to them to have a conversation around why are they doing this? Okay. And so questions that you might use are things like, so what's changed in your business that has sent you down this path? Or can you walk me through how it happens today? I know you told me what you want to do now, but what's happening today? So really basic stuff, but you want to get to those root causes. So some help on questioning here. I have a framework that I call the IER questioning. So it's got three parts: initiate, expand, and reconcile. Initiate are the open-ended questions. All right, so like on the previous thing, so what prompted you to look into this type of solution? What are some of the challenges you're having with it right now? And don't forget the ultimate aphrodisiac. I took this from Scott Galloway. He was giving dating advice to his sons. The follow-on question. When someone says, we're really struggling with X. Oh, fascinating. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? Why is that X such a problem? Super powerful. And I guarantee if you use it in your dating life, what's your favorite color? Blue. Oh, what is it about blue that you really like? I promise you, expand. These are the questions that you use to direct the conversation to the powerful parts of your solution, or the strongest, most competitive parts of your situation. Okay, so it sounds something like, okay, so you've told me about all these problems that you're having. Many of our customers have also said they have a problem with X. Have you also seen this? And when they say, yes, actually we have, that's awesome, because then you've just directed them towards something that you do really well. That's an expand the conversation question. Yes, no. And then the reconcile is wrapping it all up. So let me just repeat back what I've heard. I've heard you say a little bit about this problem 1, problem 2, problem 3. Does that sound right? And they're going to say yeah. And then there's the next beauty I'm going to give you. This is another gem. It's called clean the plate. And the question is very simple. Is there anything else? And then stop talking. Because inevitably there is a gem that comes up that they say, you know what, I almost forgot, but we have this other thing. Those are diamonds that you can uncover at that time. So it's called clean the plate. Is there anything else? And you can use that in when you're talking about their objectives, about the problems, about the solution, the power, whatever it is. It's a great question.